Hey everyone, it's Heather with Tropica Exotica, and I just wanted to touch base. I know it's been a while since I've posted. I apologize for that. But obviously with everything going on right now, everybody's kind of trying to deal with the new normal. So anyway, I just wanted to pop in and do a quick video for you. So as the day of this filming, it's April 12th. So just want to say Happy Easter to everybody who celebrates Easter. I know that the current situation is pretty crazy that we find ourselves in. I know for me, for 2020, I just had this idea that it was going to be a big year. I thought it was going to be, a lot of changes, a lot of different stuff happening with the earth, with the truth coming out, with new technologies being released. And, this year has really just all been focused on the current pandemic. So that is definitely different, and I don't think a lot of people were expecting that. So we're all trying to, deal with the current situation as we can. So what I do find kind of interesting though is this year, intuitively, I had already kind of put it out to my friends and family that, I'm not going to be doing any traveling the first 6 months of the year. I just wasn't even going to think about it. So I think it's kind of interesting that it ended up being that, it doesn't look like anybody's supposed to be traveling the first part of this year at least, so far. So when it comes to the virus situation, it isn't really my soul's purpose to really kind of dig into that aspect of it. If you're interested in learning more, I'd recommend, maybe looking into Magenta Pixie. I think she has some really good information out there. She's one of the teachers that I follow. And so when it comes to the current situation that we're in, obviously we're dealing with the virus, we're dealing with the economic situation, and the main thing has really been our significant upheaval in our day-to-day life. Our routines have completely changed, our lifestyles have changed. All these people that had big plans for this year, travel, vacations, weddings, celebrations, all of that has been put on hold. And a lot of the things that you'll hear about right now are what people will call conspiracy theories. And really they're just called conspiracy theories because they're not put on the mainstream source of information. But one thing I just want to say about that is just be cautious when you're doing research and looking about behind the scenes about what's going on, because I know I found myself just being a little bit too obsessive and checking and reading all of these different social media sites and trying to understand what the latest was. And I really think that you just want to try to maybe focus on yourself and your own life, what's going on, and kind of detach a little bit away from what's going on, because you can really just kind of start going crazy if you focus too much on that stuff. So I think I wanted to talk about one aspect of this whole virus situation, and that is that it's been such a huge change in our day-to-day life. And so anytime that we have a huge change like that, there's emotions that we have to go through. So I think I just want to make sure everybody recognizes that fact that this is a huge deal emotionally, and we have to accept that. I think a lot of us who are following these kind of behind the scenes, what's going on, we are aware of kind of a bigger picture. Other people may not be, and they may kind of just be thinking, oh, I'm just so ready for things to go back to normal. But I think that we have to honor the emotions that we feel, and a lot of this is going to be associated with grief, and we kind of have to go through those stages of grief. And just to kind of go over what some of those emotions are, the first one is denial, the second one is anger, the third is bargaining, the fourth is depression, and the fifth is acceptance. So I think during this process, a lot of us will find that we're going through kind of these roller coaster type of emotions, And so we just need to honor that and understand that that's a normal part of this process. Having such a huge significant change happen, we have to honor, you know, what it is that we're feeling. And also, if you're an empath, you have probably been picking up on this very heavy collective energy. I know early on for me it was like, it just felt like this weighted blanket laying on top of you. So one of the things that I would recommend really people make sure that they're paying attention to is trying to make sure that you manage your own energy field and kind of block out the others as you can. Black tourmaline is really good for that. I would also try grounding. Lately I've just been going out and just putting my feet on the ground for 20 minutes or so. That's really going to help with your anxiety. I would also recommend you taking Epsom salt baths. That's also going to help get rid of other people's energy off of you. Journaling is also a really good practice that I would recommend everybody start just trying to, in order to process your emotions. I think journaling is a really great way to do that. So just want to talk a little bit about my own current situation. I'm here in Texas in the United States. We are on, pretty much a lockdown. Our essential stores are open. The grocery stores, gasoline, restaurants will allow pickup only. We have these other stores that are open, the other, what they're called box stores, and they have had restrictions where they only have one entrance, one exit. Everybody has to stand 6 feet away. They've got it taped off. In our stores, people have plexiglass in front of the cashiers. It's also the same way in other places. Right now, our state parks are closed. Our beaches are closed, at least to vehicular traffic, so people can still walk on the beach if you can walk to it. But I think, having these restrictions has been a lot to deal with. I mean, a lot of people are having their groceries delivered if you can do that. But I think, just me going out and seeing people wear masks, and in some situations a lot of people are doing curbside, and some people are wearing like full-on face mask, gloves, cover up. So it is just seeing that, I think, causes me to have anxiety. And so I feel like whenever I've been going out, I've just been like overwhelmed. I just feel like, oh my gosh, this is just so different. So I think that's kind of just part of the process that, you need to just honor and respect that whatever you feel is okay. I mean, this is very different, and so you just need to recognize what it is that you're feeling. And a little bit, I'll talk a little bit about some self-care techniques. So one of the things I wanted to talk about, though, is I feel like I actually had the virus. I'm very in tune with my body, and back in March, there was one day I was just sitting at my computer, and all of a sudden, I can't even describe how I felt, but it was like, oh my God. Like, I could tell something was in my body and that it was not good, and it was this sinking feeling like, oh my God, this is bad, this is really bad. And so I immediately just stopped what I was doing, and I envisioned white light just streaming through, like the galactic central sun, through the sun, all the way down through my body, just blasting this white light energy through my body and expelling anything that was in my body. And so I think that intention helped, but I still did have some symptoms, and mainly my symptoms were I felt like I had a fever for like about a week. I felt like I had a slightly elevated fever. It wasn't anything super bad, but I could definitely tell like my body was fighting something off. I also felt very tired. There was one day when I just laid in bed all day, and then I just kind of felt like I kept on having the need to take naps in the afternoon, like pretty much every day for about a week. So I feel like, I feel like this virus is extremely contagious, and I feel like a lot of people have already had it, and you know, those people just really aren't, you know, being a part of the whole collective collection process as far as data, because we, you know, are not exhibiting super, you know, bad symptoms to warrant going to the doctor. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is the concept of self-care. So I think it's easy to, you know, in these type of situations, just kind of, you know, slack off and just watch a whole bunch of Netflix, or, you know, just waste your day away. And it's easy to kind of like start or stop taking care of your own physical and mental and emotional selves. So I wanted to talk about something that I did, because I felt like, you know, I just was kind of slipping into this abyss of just lack of interest or whatever. And so what I did was I went out and I bought just a notebook at a local drugstore, and I kind of just wrote down some ideas in different categories of stuff to make sure that I considered when trying to address taking care of myself. And so I kind of broke it up into a few different categories. I kind of broke it up into mental, emotional, diet, and physical exercise, and then kind of just like physical body care, such as your skin or your face. And so I just wanted to kind of talk through some of those ideas, so that maybe if you want to think about doing something like this. And so what I did was I put down a whole bunch of different ideas on the first page, and then on every other page after that I kind of made a plan of the different things that I was going to do that day to take care of myself. So some of the ideas I had for emotional mental were journaling, being social with friends, and you can do that just through FaceTime or through text. Just make sure you stay connected with others during this time. Reading, meditation, doing breath work, taking Epsom salt baths are a few different ideas that you can kind of consider as far as, you know, making sure that you take care of your own mental and emotional health. And so when it comes to diet, I wrote down a few things that I wanted to make sure that I took, and one of those is making sure I take my vitamins. I'm kind of taking a bunch of vitamins right now just to make sure that my immune system doesn't get worn down through all this additional stress. So I've added vitamin C, and I've also added vitamin D. And so other things that I've written down are, you know, try to make sure that you that I eat vegetables and fruit. And so when I'm planning my day, I might list out, okay, here's the different fruits and vegetables I want to make sure I eat that day. You know, maybe spritzing up your water, making it special with, you know, adding lemon juice or maybe apple cider vinegar, or making like a spa water, adding a few slices of cucumber or strawberries. I also take a couple of supplements. I take Schizandra, which is a good adaptogen. You can also just make sure that you write down to drink your 8 glasses of water a day, because I know it's easy to kind of, you know, slip into just drinking, you know, coffee or Cokes or whatever. Just make sure that you make a point to drink a lot of water, especially right now. And then for physical exercise, I just wrote down a few options that I have in my own house to do. And then also when it comes to body care, you know, maybe treat yourself once a week to a mask if you have any of that material. Aloe vera is one that I use, where you just cut off a leaf of aloe vera and kind of squeeze it on your, put it on your face and leave it there for about 15 minutes and wash it off. That's a little treat you can do for yourself. You can also maybe do something with your hair, you know, do extra conditioner or something like that. Or, you know, I know coconut oil is a mess, but I try to use that at least once or twice a week, because it really, really makes your skin just feel amazingly soft. So anyway, so those are a few things that I just wanted to offer up to make sure that you take care of yourself during this time. And also, lastly, I just wanted to kind of talk about the perspective where I'm at right now. I feel like I've kind of reached an acceptance phase, which is why I'm able to get on camera and talk right now. because just like everybody else, I've been dealing with all of these different emotions through this process. So I finally feel like I'm in a place now where it's like, okay, this is how it is, this is our new normal, so I need to adjust to that. But also, I feel like I had been viewing it like a lot of other people, which is, you know, we're kind of in this holding pattern. You know, you see a bunch of these memes about Groundhog's Day, like it's the same day over and over again. But I feel like, you know, I'm at the point now where it's like, no, that's not a good way to look at it. We need to look at it as this is our opportunity to create something different and new. You know, we are very lucky, and some of us, I know not everybody has a situation, but a lot of us are lucky that we have this time to decompress and kind of focus on our self-care and not be in this kind of rat race type situation where we're running around constantly. So we're able to, like, you know, stop and breathe. And then the other thing is, I think that this is our opportunity to think about what it is that we do want our future to look like. So that's what I plan on doing going forward. So I'm really excited about that. So anyway, I just wanted to touch base with everybody, and I hope everybody's doing well. I know that these are challenging times, but just hang in there. So we're going to get through this together. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.